100 miles as a teenager by yourself, that is extraordinary. Don't see any limitations there. It looks more like a strength to me. So stay tuned with us for other inspiring videos throughout the day. Before we begin the second match for the 2A championship, we would like to honor our third and fourth place runner-up teams. In third place, we have Maumelle High School, and in fourth place is Conway Christian. Congratulations to both of those teams. And now let's get ready to introduce the teams for our 2A conference championship match between Haas Hall Academy Bentonville and Haas Hall Academy Fayetteville. First, from Haas Hall Academy Bentonville, we have Duncan Wilkie, who's a senior. Rayon Sharif, a sophomore. The captain is DJ Casada. We have Nikita Venagopal, who is a junior. We have Sophie Yarbrough, who's a junior as well. Their alternate team members are Claire Frazier, a junior. Kenton Roberts, a junior. Adam Rockwood is also a junior. Harsha Nanapanini is a freshman. And Parnav Polavirapu is a freshman also. And rounding out the alternate team, Kate Webb, who is a senior. Their coach is Amy Russell. Let's hear it for Haas Hall Academy Bentonville. And now over to Haas Hall Academy Fayetteville. Sam Bishop, a sophomore. Anshuman Nandi, who's a junior. The captain is Nicholas College, a senior. The co-captain is Hamad Mehal, who's a senior. Ashwin Narayan is a junior, rounding out the team. Now let's meet the alternate team members. Vivek Narayan, who's a junior. Caden Williamson, a sophomore. Nathaniel Harris is a senior. Mashiat Rahman is a sophomore. Daniel Jarvis, also a sophomore. And Ariane Pabudesai is a junior. Their coach is Tad Sowers, and the assistant coach is Chloe Hansberger. Let's hear it, everyone, for Haas Hall Academy, Fayetteville. We wish both teams the best of luck, and now let's get right to the action. Here's our quizmaster, Steve Patterson.
Well, welcome back to ATN Studios here in Conway and our 2019 Quiz Bowl Championships. And it has been a long year and a very exciting year in the 2A area. But two teams have emerged on top to play for this state championship game. And they are old faces here to ATN. It's just that instead of being 1A, Haas Hall Bentonville is now 2A, and Fayetteville, instead of 3A, is now 2A. So they meet now, two friendly rivals, I assume, across town practically. And here they are at ATN for this great face-off, and we're excited about that. So good luck to both teams. You both had a great year, and this is going to be a great finish to that year. You're both champions in your own right already. We begin always with a 20-question like what we call a toss-up question, and the team members are on their own. They buzz in, they give their own answers. They're not allowed to confer with their friends, and we see how they do on that, and then we move on into the second, third, and fourth rounds. All right, teams, if you're ready, put those hands on the buzzers, and here is the first toss-up question in the 2A state championship. His other major works include The Lion of Belfort and his namesake fountain at the U.S. Botanic Garden in Washington, D.C. Name this man the creator of Liberty Enlightening the World. DJ.
Eiffel?
No. Anshuman.
Borglum?
No, it's Auguste Bartholdi. All right, number two. Many of his astronomical discoveries, including the accurate positions of more than 775 fixed stars, were discovered before the invention of the telescope. Duncan.
Kepler.
No. Who is this Danish astronomer who's Anshuman?
Brahe.
That's right. Known for his witty and irreverent verse, name this American humorist poet whose first collection of poems, entitled Hard Lines, is remembered for quips such as, "Why did the Lord give us agility if not to evade responsibility?" in his poem Common Sense. Anshuman.
Sandberg.
No. Sophie.
Payne.
No, it is a fellow named Ogden Nash. Ogden Nash. All right, question number 4. Complete the law of cosines that begins with c squared equals... Sam.
A squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c.
No. Duncan.
b squared plus 2a cosine c.
No. You were very, very close, Sam. It's a squared plus b squared minus 2ac cosine c. All right. Question number 5. Running more than 350 miles from Rome to modern-day Brindisi in southeast Italy, Ashwin.
The Appian Way.
You're right, Ashwin. Good job. All right, number 6, one of the most accomplished all-around athletes in history and also a gridiron football player in the first half of the 20th century. Who is the man who won the 1912 Olympic decathlon? DJ.
Jim Thorpe.
You're right. Question number 7. Originally built as a Christian basilica over 1,500 years ago, this church played a pivotal role in the Byzantine Empire. Ashwin.
Hagia Sophia.
Right. Next question is number 8, and it says, passed on June 15th of 1917. Name this act that made it a crime for any person to convey information. Ashwin.
The Espionage Act.
That's correct. Number 9, preceded only by Valentina Tereshkov and Anshuman.
Sally Ride.
You're right. And thank you for getting that with my terrible pronunciation. Number 10, publishing his best-known and monumental work in 7 parts between 1913 and 1927, name the French author of the semi-autobiographical work Remembrance of Things. Sophie.
Proust.
You're right. With a peak reaching 14,440 feet, it is the second highest summit in the contiguous United States after Mount Duncan.
Rainier.
No, after Mount Whitney. The tallest mountain in Colorado. Name this highest summit of the Rocky Mountains. Hamad.
Pikes Peak.
No, it's Mount Elbert. Mount Elbert. All right, question number 12. What value of a line segment is found when applying the mathematical formula x of 1 plus x sub 2? Sam.
Midpoint.
You're right. Identify the American essayist and novelist whose popular series of novels, collectively known as the Narratives of Empire, recreated prominent figures and events in history and include the novels Lincoln, The Golden Age, 1876, and Burr. Duncan.
Gladwell.
No. Fayetteville. It is Gore Vidal. Gore Vidal. All right. What is the geometric term for a transformation using a center point, usually called C? Anshuman.
Rotation.
No. And a scale factor, usually called Nikita.
Dilation.
Dilation is exactly what we were looking for. Good job. All right, a philosopher, political economist, and social reformer who had a huge impact on 19th century thought. Named the English statesman who succeeded Jeremy Bentham as the leading exponent of utilitarianism and as a member of Parliament advocated women's suffrage in his book. Duncan.
Mill.
Mill is exactly right. His book, The Subjection of Women. Good job. Originally named the Museum of Non-Objective Painting, this museum is located in Manhattan's Upper East Side. Duncan.
The Museum of Modern Art.
No. In a building designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Hamad.
The Guggenheim.
That's right. The most prominent member of a family of Swiss mathematicians. Name this man. Oh, Anshuman.
Euler.
I'm sorry?
Euler.
No. Name this man whose 1738 work called Hydrodynamica developed as a principle which states that the pressure in a fluid decreases as its velocity increases. All right, DJ.
Bernoulli.
Bernoulli is right. He gained favor with Nicholas II when he saved his hemophiliac son, Nicholas.
Rasputin.
That's right. Question 19. An insoluble substance that is the main constituent of plant cell walls. What term in DJ?
Cellulose.
Right. Question 20. Writing plays about African-American life, each set in a different decade of the 20th century. Name the American playwright who won Pulitzer Prizes for Fences and The Piano. Sophie.
Wilson.
Wilson, August Wilson. Good job. And that was the last question of round one. Coaches, do we have any challenges? We're good here. We're good here. All right. So at the end of one round, we have Haas Fayetteville with 80 and Haas Bentonville right on their heels with 70. Good job. Now, would we like to make any substitutions? We're good here. All right. I think we're going to have a conference here, so we're going to take a short break while we work on the team from Bentonville. Well, welcome back to a very exciting 2A state championship quiz bowl game, which we knew would be good because these two schools are excellent schools and they have excellent players on their team. So it's been very good. Claire, good to have you into the game for Haas Bentonville. And I think we've left everything the same over here. All right. We are going to move now to the second round, which our Quiz Bowl folks know involves answering a toss-up and then getting a 4-part bonus for their team that they can confer on and talk about and come up together with the answers. And there are 4 of those, so we'll play until we get those 4 or until we use up our 10 questions, which we will not with these two teams. All right, so Nicholas, you be ready, and DJ, you be ready for those bonus questions. But first, let's get the toss-up with this question. A founding editor of The New Yorker. He set out to form his own newspaper and founded the New York Tribune in 1841. Known for his advocacy of the United States Western expansion, name this American journalist who is somewhat erroneously associated with the phrase, "Go west, young man." That is a fellow named Horace Greeley. Horace Greeley. Here's another toss-up. What literary term is defined as purification that brings about spiritual renewal? Nicholas.
Catharsis.
Catharsis was what we were looking for. Nicholas, you have won your team a bonus, and that bonus is called world currencies. World currencies. Identify the base unit of currency for these countries. Estonia.
Euro.
Yes. Russia.
Ruble.
Yes. Denmark.
Kroner.
Judges? No. South Africa.
Pound.
No, that one is the rand, and just the krone is the currency for Denmark. But 2 out of the 4, so you got 20 points out of that. And so here's another toss-up for both schools, and it happens to be a math computation. So we'll put 20 seconds on the clock, and we will ask you this question. What is the value of I raised to the 15th power? Hamad.
Negative I.
No. Duncan.
-1.
-1 is correct. Good. All right, and you've earned your team a bonus in state nicknames. State nicknames. So, DJ, when you confer together, give me the names of these states. I'm going to give you the nickname. You provide the state. The first one is the Keystone State.
Pennsylvania.
Right. The Land of Enchantment.
New Mexico.
Yes. The Yellowhammer State.
Alabama.
Yes. And the Old Dominion State.
Virginia.
That is absolutely right. A total of 30 points for Haas Bentonville. Yep, those Yellowhammers drive me crazy during ball games. All right, question number 24 for both teams. One of the originators of big band jazz, this pianist is among the greatest jazz composers and band leaders of all time, having led his band from 1923. Anshuman.
Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington gets you a bonus. Good job, Anshuman. All right, and that would be the third bonus, which is going to be called short stories, Nicholas. And it says, when given the name of a famous short story, name the author. The Nicholas.
Defer to Sam.
Maupassant.
Yes, Guy de Maupassant. The lottery.
Shirley. Where's it? Shirley Jackson.
Answer, please.
Jackson.
Yes. The yellow wallpaper.
Charlotte Perkins Gilman.
Defer to Ashwin.
Gilman.
Yes. And the celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County.
Twain.
Yes. All four correct for a total of 30 points for Fayetteville. All right, we have one bonus remaining, and let's see which team can get it with this bonus. The first American to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1930, name the author whose works include Elmer Gantry. Sophie.
Sinclair Lewis.
Sinclair Lewis, good job. And then I would have followed that with Babbitt. All right, very nice. Sophie, you've earned your team a bonus called The Phases of Mitosis. Mitosis, okay. When given a brief description, name the phase of mitosis being described in the description. All right, here we go. Daughter of chromosomes move away from each other toward opposite poles of cell.
Anaphase.
Yes. The final stage of mitosis, where separated chromosomes assemble and reach opposite poles of the cell.
Telophase.
Yes. First stage of mitosis, during which strands of chromatin form into chromosomes.
Prophase.
Yes. And finally, number 4, the stage in mitosis where duplicated chromosomes line up along equilateral plate of spindle.
Metaphase. Metaphase.
Metaphase. Good job. All right, all 4 correct for 30 points. And you parents that are in the audience or at home should be very proud of these young people. They know a lot of material. And by virtue of that, they're still tied, 130 to 130 here at the end of the second round. Do we have any challenges? No challenges here, none here. All right, now, before we make any changes in our group, let me read the categories to you, but I think first we have to decide who's going to pick first. We're going to flip that coin, and the one that calls it, we got the last question right. Who's going to flip the coin over here?
Duncan needs to play.
Duncan was the last. Well, Captain, DJ, so your team got the last question right. This is a very scientific way in Quiz Bowl where we determine when we have a tie who gets to pick first on the lightning round categories. And we flip a coin. And the team that got the last question right in the second round gets to call that. So, DJ, go ahead and call.
Tails.
It is heads. And so, Nicholas, your team will get to pick first, and here are your choices for you, all right? You might choose to pick category 1, if I can find it here in my book. All right, opera. You might like opera. It's given the opera, identify the composer of that opera. If that doesn't do you right, you might want British monarchs. And it says, given the name of a British king or queen, you identify the house to which they belonged. And if those don't suit you well, you can pick category 3, which is called world literature. When given the name of a work of literature from anywhere around the world, name the author of that work. Teams, you have 1 minute to make your decisions.
There is no difference between a fiddle and a violin. I went to see It's Like Perlman at the Opera House in Nashville, and somebody took me backstage before the show. And I said, "Hi, Mr. Perlman. I'm Charlie Daniels. I am a fiddle player." He said, "We are all fiddle players." So if Isaac Perlman is a fiddle player, I'm proud to be associated with the fiddle.
Now you can access more of your favorite PBS shows than ever before.
This is the future!
With PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you binge many of the latest shows and catch up on your favorites.
We really are living in the modern world.
Anytime you want.
Wow, how about that?
Anywhere you are.
There's literally nothing like this in the world.
Support AETN and get Passport, your ticket to the best of PBS.
Spring, it's a season of the amazing and astonishing. In a cruel world, hope endures. Wherever you think you can never win. Rebuilding our nation.
Reconstruction left a legacy of hope as well as violence.
From spectacular spring,
they're hunting up high,
to revolutionary creations.
These are the inventions that have defined our age.
All this and more this season only on PBS.
Welcome back to the studios here at ATN, and a very exciting match, a tied match. You can't get much better than that. Here at the end of 2 rounds of play, and we have 2 rounds to go. We're about to start the lightning round category, and during the break, Haas Fayetteville, upon virtue of DJ losing the coin toss, got to pick first, and Anshuman, your team chose to do the world literature category. And then with the other 2 categories, DJ and his Haas Bentonville folks chose British monarchs. And so those are the 2 categories you're going to see at home. And DJ, you be ready for any bounce backs that Anshuman may give you. And here we go with world literature. It said, when given the name of a work of literature from around the world, name the author. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Things fall apart.
Chinua Achebe.
Achebe.
Yes. Don Quixote.
Cervantes.
Cervantes.
Yes. Love in the Time of Cholera.
Garcia Marquez.
Garcia Marquez.
Yes. Tobacco Road.
Faulkner.
No. Siddhartha.
Hesse.
Yes. Midnight's Children.
Rushdie.
Yes. The Metamorphosis.
Kafka.
Yes. Gravity's Rainbow.
Pynchon.
Yes. Dead Souls.
Start with the G.
Defer to Sam.
Gogol.
Yes. Cry, The Beloved Country.
Alan Patton.
Alan Patton.
Yes. Excellent job. Got 9 out of the 10. Good job. All right, but you did leave one hanging out there for DJ and Haas Bentonville to pick up. And you can get 10 points if you can tell me the author of Tobacco Road.
Defer to Sophie.
Caldwell.
That's right. Good job. Okay, so that was Erskine Caldwell. And now it is DJ's turn to do just as well, or maybe even better with his category. But Anshuman, you be ready for any bounce backs they may give you. All right, it's entitled British Monarchs, and it says, given the name of a British king or queen, identify the house to which they belong. You ready? All right, here we go. Richard the First.
Saxon.
No, Henry the Eighth.
Tudor.
Tudor.
Yes. James the First.
Oh, Plantagen.
Plantagen.
No. Victoria.
Oh, Hanover.
Hanover.
Yes. William the First.
Norman.
Yes. Elizabeth the Second.
Windsor.
Windsor.
Yes. Henry the Fifth.
Pass.
Alfred the Great.
Lancaster.
No. Edward the Seventh.
Stall.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so that one will not pass over. When a team stalls, then we don't. We stop right there and we don't pass over that question. All right, Anshuman, they did well, but they do have some to give up to you. The first one is Richard the First.
Is that York?
York.
No. The next one is James the First.
James Stewart.
Stewart.
Yes. And Henry the Fifth.
I said Lancaster.
Lancaster.
I'm sorry?
Lancaster.
Yes. And Alfred the Great.
Maybe that's York. Maybe. I would go with York.
York.
No, he is Wessex. And Richard the First is a Plantagenet. But we got all the others correct. The one you stalled on, Edward the Seventh, was Saxe-Coburg. And we did not get to Richard the Third, and he was of the House of York. All right. We are now out of round 3, unless we have any challenges. None here? Challenges over here? Bentonville coach? Challenge? No challenges? All right. So here at the end of 3 rounds, we've had a little bit of a change here, as Haas Bentonville has gotten 240 points, and Bentonville has 180. So a little bit of a change there, but still a lot of points up for grabs in our last round. Now, do we have any substitutions we'd like to make? And we do, so we're going to take a quick break while the teams substitute. Well, welcome back to our 2A state championship in Quiz Bowl for 2019, and it's been a very exciting match. Fayetteville had a good third round, and they're up by 60 points, but there are 200 points left in the game in this fourth and final round, and so it's still anyone's game. And I noticed that we have our starters back in here for the Bentonville group. And over here, we've changed around some people, but I think it's still the same folks we've had up there since the start. And so that's going to confuse me a little, but don't you worry about that. And we're ready to start this last round. Good luck to both of you. 2 excellent teams, and you're both champions in your own right. And let's see what happens here as we finish up these last 20 questions. Are you ready? All right. A pioneer in quantum and wave theory, he shared the 1933 Nobel Prize for Physics for the discovery of new productive forms of atomic theory. Identify this Austrian theoretical physicist whose famous argument about a cat. Sam.
Schrodinger.
Yes. A watershed moment for a nation divided by the Vietnam War. At what university were 4 students? DJ.
Kent State.
You're right. Question number 33. Originally in organic chemistry, working on aldehydes led him to compose music in 1862 as a way to relax from the rigors of scientific studies. Name this Russian composer of the operatic masterpiece Prince Igor. Anshuman.
Mussorgsky.
No. Duncan.
Stravinsky.
It is actually Alexander Borodin. All right, question 34. A prominent writer of the Harlem Renaissance, name the... Sophie.
Langston Hughes.
No. Name the African-American folklorist and author who celebrated African-American culture in the rural South in Their Eyes Were Watching. Ahmad.
Zora Neale Hurston.
You're right. Math computation. 20 seconds on the clock and pen and paper in hand. What is the volume of a cylindrical cone with a height of 8 feet and a base circumference of 6 pi feet? Sam.
72 pi.
No. Duncan.
24 pi inches cubed.
No. Feet cubed would have been right. All right. Question number 36. After he and Le Duc Tho were controversially awarded the 1973 Nobel Peace Prize, 2 members of the Nobel Committee resigned in protest. Name this former Secretary of State under Presidents Anjuman.
Kissinger.
Yes. All right, the next question is number 37. Replacing the Hunter process for almost all commercial production, what pyrometallurgical industrial process, Hamad?
Bessemer process?
No, is used to produce metallic titanium? Duncan.
The clay process.
It's the Kroll process, K-R-O-L-L. All right, number 38. The last of classical Athens' 3 great tragic dramatists. Identify the Greek playwright of whose 92 works, only 18 still survive, including the works Alcestis. Sophie.
Euripides.
You're right. Punished for cheating death. Identify the legendary king of Corinth. DJ.
Sisyphus.
Right. Question 40. Appointed United States Secretary of the Navy in 1961 at the suggestion of Lyndon B. Johnson, name the former governor of Texas who was critically wounded during the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas. Duncan.
Roosevelt.
No. Hamad.
Foster.
No, it was John Conley. He was sitting right in front of President Kennedy and got hit as well. Number 41. Nominated for 21 Academy Awards, 3 Emmys, 5 Grammys, and 1 Tony Award, she has starred in such classics as Kramer vs. Kramer, The French Lieutenant's Woman, and The Bridges of Madison County. Who is this American actress who won the Oscar for Best Actress for Sophie's Choice? Anshuman.
Streep.
Yes. Often considered his country's greatest poet and the founder of modern Russian literature. Name the... Anshuman.
Chekhov.
No. Name the Russian novelist, poet, and short story writer who wrote Eugene Onegin. Sophie.
Pushkin.
Pushkin is the answer. Good. In particle physics, name the class of subatomic particles such as protons or neutrons. Duncan.
Baryons.
No. Which are built from quarks and react through the agency of strong force. Anshuman.
Mesons.
Hadrons. Hadrons. All right, question 44. Described as the turning effect of force on the axis of rotation. Duncan.
Torque.
Torque is right. Built in the 1930s and extending from La Ferté to the Rhine River, name this defensive barrier. Ashwin.
The Maginot Line.
Right. According to Theogony by the Greek poet Hesiod, they were the daughters of Gaia and sprang from the blood, Anshuman.
The Muses.
No. Sprang from the blood of her mutilated spouse Uranus, sometimes called the Arienes. By what collective name are these female clothnic deities of vengeance more popularly known? Sophie.
Furies.
Yes. A favorite of French royalty, despite his plays' audacious attitudes toward the bourgeoisie, he died unexpectedly while performing. Anshuman.
Voltaire.
No. While performing The Imaginary Invalid. Name this French comedic writer of The Miser. Sophie.
Moliere.
Moliere is what we were looking for. All right, math computation for the next question. Factor the polynomial 125x cubed minus 1. Hamad.
The quantity 5x minus 1 times the quantity 25x squared minus 5x plus 1.
No. Rayon.
Quantity 5x minus 1, closed quantity, times 25x squared plus 5x plus 1.
That's correct. All right. Question 49. Labeled by the U.S. Treasury Department as the most powerful drug trafficker in the world, name the former leader of Mexico's... Duncan.
Pablo Escobar.
No. Hamad.
El Chapo
El
Guzman.
Chapo. Good, good. Identify the German chemist who won the 1918 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work on nitrogen fixation. Anschumann.
Fritz.
No. In which he synthesized ammonia in an industrial process that bears his name. DJ.
Krebs.
Haber. Franz Haber. All right, that was the last question of a very exciting and excellent match. And do we have any challenges anywhere? Okay. Well, that was an excellent game, and 2A is well represented by these two schools. So by virtue of our final score, Haas Hall Bentonville is our 2A first runner-up, and Haas Hall Fayetteville is the 2A State Quiz Bowl champion.
Well,
highest scoring game we've had all day, and I'm not surprised. Both those teams are outstanding.
they did great jobs.
Yeah.
What was the turning point? Because at one time it was
very close. Well, it was tied
close.
when they went into the 62nd round. The turning point was the 62nd round, and then Haas Hall Bentonville had to just play catch-up, and they were aggressive enough, and they did a very good job playing, but it's difficult when you're going up against that kind of power on the other side.
They used the stall, which also...
Oh, yes, they did. When they got into it and they realized where it was going, they just stalled to keep it from getting any worse, and that was a good tactic for them. Both teams, excellent teams. Play them again, you couldn't tell who was going to win. Those are excellent, well-coached, excellent teams.
And they've actually played each other a few times.
Yes, they have. Matter of fact, they played twice. Fayetteville won once, Bentonville won once, played the third time. Fayetteville came out on top.
Tiebreaker day. Let's go over now to Carolyn for the awards.
Congratulations, Haas Hall Bentonville on being 2A runner-up. And here is $1,500. Congratulations. And here is your trophy. There you go. Congratulations. Okay, congratulations, Haas Hall Fayetteville, for being the 2A championship, or champion, sorry. Here's your $3,000 and your trophy. Congratulations. There you go.
And for our MVP, hang on, DJ, come back, yes. I have to burden you with a little more here. You got the balancing act together? Maybe? Let's see how we do with this. I'm loving it. Okay, let's see. We'll put that around your finger. Okay, you got it? Oh, here, perfect. Okay, our MVP, DJ Casada. Who's burdened here now. Okay. And the rest of our 2A all-tournament team, Noah Morris from Maumelle Charter. And this is the first time today we have actually had a high point player, because in the earlier rounds at state, this individual exceeded DJ's score, including today's game. His score for DJ was 11.66 average, and Noah's was 13.71 for the total number of games he played. So he will be high point player. Brandon Lyles from Quitman, Ross Harper from Hazen, Harley Clark of Mountainburg, Anshuman Nandi over here. He's going to be on that team from Haas Hall Fayetteville. Yes. And Duncan Wilkie over here from Haas Hall Fayetteville. And Connor McCord from Buffalo Island Central. And Brandon White from Murfreesboro. And a fellow whose score got averaged wrong in the last few games leading up to this, Hamad Mihal, you were also on the all-tournament team. Even though you didn't have 5 today, you had an average of 5 coming in here, and we never bring you down after that. So That's our 2A all-tournament team. Congratulations, all of you.
Carolyn, thank you so much. Now let's meet our second family, this family from right here in Conway. And the story we are about to watch teaches us that some labels simply aren't permanent.
Quiz Bowl, it provides like something that like other like extracurricular activities don't, where every other thing you have to like work to get in order to get better at something, whereas Quiz Bowl, it's mostly just a test of all the things you already know, and there's not really any other things that allow you to express your knowledge of just random information. It's just like trivia. If you know it, you press a button, and I thought that was pretty cool because everybody else in my class didn't really know as much as I did.
Name the American lexicographer who is best known for 1828's An American Dictionary of the English Language. Rodrigo. Correct.
Rodrigo had difficulty playing with other kids when he was very little, and when he started school, he liked to just observe kids, and he did everything that he was required to do. So at that point, he was diagnosed as being on the spectrum for autism, but also PDD and OS.
I consider myself about as like able-bodied, able-minded as everybody else, like other people. I might not be as like sociable as everybody else, but that's not really an issue because most teenagers are really reserved, and it's basically like I'm just one of many.
As a 10th grader, he was evaluated again just to see how he was doing, and at that point, we were told that he was not on the spectrum, that he just has some social pragmatic tendencies that were unique to him, and he was very introverted, but his condition is not noticeable in Quiz Bowl. I mean, it's a plus. I mean, he clicks the button when he knows the answer, and usually he knows the answer. He doesn't click if he doesn't know it. So he's kind of like pretty popular with that, and it's a boost for his self-esteem. I think Quiz Bowl is perfect for him because he has very good memory, and he kind of, even in regular daily life, he likes to talk about facts. So that part is very good. I think he's in the right place.
It's a very good reason not to let a label define you because people grow and change. Way to go, Rodrigo and Tommy and Michael Pitts. Congratulations. I have the pleasure now of not just introducing you to Carolyn Try, because you've seen her today. She's one of the most popular people in the studio. She is the Arkansas Governor's Quiz Bowl Association State Director. You've given out a lot of money today.
It's always fun today.
Yes,
to
what
do that.
a very popular person. Tell us about the awards.
All right. Well, the awards we've given out today are scholarship money, which are divided amongst the students who are here. They are the ones that win it, and they're the ones that get it. So of those checks, those big checks, the coach goes home, and it's divided amongst those students. And they get to take that as some money to at least pay for a few books of college. We know it doesn't count towards a lot of your scholarship itself, but it does help with the books and some of the expenses. Yeah, you know, a few meals at the dorm, something. And for both of those teams, then also the MVPs, they get $150 in addition to those various awards I've been putting them in their hands or on them.
And bragging rights.
Yeah, and bragging rights, of course. Something to put on their resume, you know? So we're excited to be able to do that at the end of the year. Leading up to this, they simply, you know, get trophies or medals at earlier competitions, but now they actually get some real money.
Tell us how to start a Quiz Bowl team at school, because you've been with the association for quite some time.
Yes, I have. The main thing you do is find you a faculty member that likes it, is interested. And we're getting a lot of Quiz Bowl graduates that are now teachers. So that helps.
That's excellent.
Or sometimes some college students that are willing to come over and be the coach of a team. So that works well too. But what we have them do is, you know, kind of put out an all-call to students who's interested, who'd like to try this. You don't have to be an expert at everything, but if you've got a subject you like and you think you'd like to do this quick answer kind of thing and learn some stuff, put you together with other people. Come try out. And sometimes you have a lot of kids show up at some schools, and at others, sometimes it's not all that many, but you just need a nucleus.
A good group. A good group. Carolyn, thank you so much. And as you mentioned, some teachers are former Quiz Bowl students. That's a great endorsement.
It certainly is, and we like it.
Thank you so much. It is nice to learn about some of the awards being presented to our teams. We have just a few more before we wrap up Quiz Bowl 2019, but let's get into our final match now. Before we begin our third match for the 7A championship, we'd like to honor our third and fourth place.